Beautiful day.
Yeah.
To take some photos.
So we're heading down there somewhere, just off a cliff. Yeah, and Dave's walking with the curtain pole. Have a lovely trip. Oh.
Yeah, so structurally sound. As you move the camera, you want to. Come on!
Oh, they're coming in now.
Oh, there we go. I want one on those back rocks again.
Yeah.
There we go. Boom!
Yeah.
Did it go?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it.
Nice.
So we're just about to go into the Inchindown oil tunnels. We're accompanied by Preston White, who's been absolutely amazing.
Oh, you got across then? How did you get the line across?
With the drone.
The drone?
Yeah.
I want to do that, alright?
Okay, alright.
So Simon's prepared us this.
And I just had another thought. This
Love some of
this
my
voice
oats
clip
today.
could actually be like the intro to the documentary. So here goes.
You got sugary oats?
World War II, underground,
Give me oats
once
and
top
sugar.
secret oil storage facility, 6 tanks, 2 tunnels. Large format,
I just need these oats. You see my oats?
intrepid,
I need to stir my thing. I need a.
paper negative,
Useless until you've had something to eat.
contact print,
That's true. I need
all
coffee.
within the tunnels, underground,
Is that on yet?
no light,
Whoa!
no
There's
sound,
still Armagnac in it.
Yeah.
12 volt, red light, job done.
Wow. I suppose I should wash out the other cup, eh?
Yeah, probably.
Oh man. I mean, making omelette, doing dishes. How we do? We've got to keep a clean house, darling. Don't we now? So behind schedule in my head. But it's not really a schedule that we could have kept to ourselves. How cool would it be if Parcel Force just rock up like now?
Can I get the top bloke Simon mug?
Yeah, you can. Whoa, who's this?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, you just get that.
How's it going? For Simon? Oh, perfect. Yes. You have a good one. Simon's here. This is the first production Intrepid enlarger in the world.
I'm quite happy about this.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm quite happy now. A little bit sketchy yesterday.
How those dishes coming?
Oh, just amazing. I mean, can you hear this?
That's squeaky clean.
Yeah.
That's really squeaky clean. Bum bum.
Woof.
Oh man.
It is happening!
Boom!
Woohoo! So then, how does this get secured into...
Let's try it now.
Yeah, it's on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Whew. Right, let's go to tanks.
Let's go to the tanks.
Time to fill up the hot water butts with the water. I mean, the water butts with the hot water.
Water butts?
Water butts.
Do you call them butts here?
Butts.
Is that really a thing?
Butts for days.
Butts for days.
That's what we need up at a
Is
tank.
that actually what Tanky McOneShot's gonna become?
Yeah.
All right, bruv. I should be sleeping, but I've got the flu. So I'm coughing up a load of shit. I'm thinking about a film that we should make in February. So I wanted to record this so I didn't forget the awesomeness of it.
All right, there's the Gandolfi. That originally we were gonna have a camera guy, a devoted camera guy, and he got sick.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Simon Riddell.
Hello. If you have guests of more
What? Cough. Hello, if you have debts of more than £50,000.
So what I'm proposing is we go into the tunnels. We get Preston to explain basically why the tunnels are there, what the tanks are for, all that gear.
11:30.
Is it 11:30?
11:30.
11:30.
Then what I want to do is shoot a 1080p per neg at 3 ISO, wide angle, same style as we did it before, but not on f16. Much longer depth of field. Get a focus point further down the tunnel. But further down the tank. And then use then basically print the paper negative, develop it in the tank. So just using like a 12-volt hookup. I've got a generator that we can use, so we can have 12 or 240. But if we can get fucking Intrepid involved, if they send the enlarger up, it runs on a 12-volt system. So we could develop the paper neg, and we could also print it, contact print it inside the tunnel. So obviously you're going to need like a flask and all the rest of it to warm the chems up, but we could totally do the whole lot, proper analog from start to finish inside the tank. It would be pretty cool for us because we can do it you can do a really good job of video editing, and we could make maybe an hour-long documentary. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Oh man, I'm fucked. I've just been coughing up phlegm for like days. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking. Hit me up later. And let me know what you think.
Yeah. Good morning.
Peace.
So Simon just did the ultra secret bit to get us in, and now we can actually go in.
Okie dokie. Right.
Let's open it.
We're going to be in here for 24, 36.
48 hours until we come out with a giant print, I think is the goal.
Yeah.
All right, let's open her up. Let's do it. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Oh man.
You remember this?
I do remember this.
Damn. Come and see my water butt.
Hello? Anyone in there?
Is it?
This is double check that we have everything. Maybe do a double check.
You want to double
Just
check
well, we don't want to forget something. Oh, he's gone. It's just me alone in these tunnels now. Simon just freaking left. All right.
Don't be high maintenance yet.
All right, kids.
Okay.
David is one of these people that needs to be thinking about something at all times, and the more complicated and strange it is, the better. So a while back he was working on a PhD in mathematics, but this is, you're just making yourself look stupid, because that means that we all see you all the time, and this is actually reality. This is what you're leaving behind. Every time you get to go climb into an oily hole, it's this. So, I don't even know what I was saying. So I had always wanted to live in France, and we were married. So we did. We moved to France, and because of that, David had to abandon his PhD, which meant that he wasn't working on anything in his brain. So he became very depressed and was like moping around the apartment and just like sleeping a ton, and was just not happy. But I guess you should know that he's like one of these people that will pick up a hobby. He buys all this stuff. He gets obsessed. He's like talking to people about it. He has these like best friends that do it all of a sudden out of nowhere. Then he masters it, which is infuriating. And then he just kind of, it ends up in a box, like in his parents' basement, whatever the hobby was. So he picked up this new thing. He started doing some film photographies because some friends of his were kind of experimenting with it. He's like developing film in our bathroom, and I'm like, I just have to pee, and he's like in there, and I can't come in, and just getting more and more into this, and the film photography has stuck around longer than other hobbies, and I think that's because there's the technical aspect of it that is good for him. It's something for his brain to work on, but then also it's artistic. He can push boundaries and just take fun, weird photos and crazy mashed up images, and David literally does not ever he so rarely he just wants everything to be hard and uncomfortable, and he wants people to be like, you can't do this, and then he'll be like, I did it, and that's just like if you're describing something and you use the words like uncomfortable, dangerous, ropes, like he's just like, yes, sign me up, I want to do that. I want to do the hard, uncomfortable, weird stuff.
I just want my children to have sort of an understanding and appreciation of all of this, even if they decide they don't want to become photographers. I just hope I transmit sort of the joy, not directly in photography, but in sort of these self-imposed challenges and trying to discover new techniques and all that. I hope I transmit that to them so that they, in whatever they decide to do, they take that same approach, or they experiment and they try things and they push the boundaries of what they're doing. And I hope that through this, people sort of see, hey, whoa, this is all possible. Like you can do this. This is doable. I mean, if a couple insane guys went into these World War II tunnels and made a darkroom and got a big freaking print out of it, I can probably create a darkroom in my bathroom. You can.
Let's climb the big stump. I can climb. This is a stump. I don't know where's a good foot.
But we're in Cromarty today at the pier, and this is one of our favourite places. The main reason that I got into film photography
is through my father. He would shoot film. The thing that photography helps me with is PTSD. In 2016, in October, my dad was preaching in church. The church was across the road from my house at the time, and Dad suddenly collapsed. I can remember the guy Kenny coming to my door, and I remember opening the door and seeing Kenny's face. So I sprinted over to the church. So I was a trained firefighter in previous careers. So obviously training kicked in. I went over to Dad and started CPR. Got some breath in his lungs. Everything was cycling through, no problem. Dad was completely unresponsive. I remember everything, really, and so unfortunately I couldn't get him back. The months that followed that were pretty horrific. He was my best mate, and my main influence in life had always come from him. And to work on somebody that you love that much, nothing's ever gonna prepare you for something like that. And you need to talk about things and find things that basically get you through a day when it's really bad. Film photography does that for me. When I load a film, I'm thinking about all sorts. It's not like picking a digital camera up. You're thinking about what the film effect is going to look like, what you want to create with that medium, how the light is going to scatter on it. You're thinking about what camera you're going to use, or are you just going to use a wooden box? And large format photography is extremely immersive. You have to be engaged with it. You have to feel what you want to create. You have to feel either the people that you're shooting, you have to have a connection with them. It focuses my mind, and I need things that fully engage me. I need a challenge. So film photography and adventuring is my thing, really.
They told me that they've got this crazy idea, which sounds quite like them, to be honest, because that's always what they do. They do these crazy kind of like ideas. But for anybody else, to be fair, I think maybe this would be one thing too many. But knowing them as I do, I think this is probably what they thrive off, with the adrenaline and the just trying to like make things work in hospitable places. And to be fair, it is something that I quite enjoy doing myself. I mean, not to this extreme, but one of the first sort of like projects that I undertook with analogue photography was up in the Lake District, and it was in an old disused barn. It was leaky, there were holes in the roof, there was no hot water, there was no kind of like anything really around there. So I ended up taking buckets and my chemistry bottles and an aquarium heater, and I managed to make photographs in this sort of like really quite inhospitable place. And it was nice to kind of like feel like, well, if I can make images here, I can kind of make them anywhere. So I am sort of fully on board with them, doing this kind of thing, because this is kind of what keeps us live and interested in analogue photography, pushing the boundaries, pushing what we can do, and just trying out some cool things. So if you're determined enough and you really want to, then absolutely can do it. I can't think of two better people to take on this kind of challenge than Simon and David. I think they're going to do a fantastic job, and especially with all of their kind of like previous experience of doing these sorts of things, and their sort of sense for adventure, and I think it's going to be possible. I just think it's going to be a challenge.
We're now standing at the entrance to Inchindown tunnels. This is tunnel number 1. We are now 4 miles away from the firth where the oil comes in on ships and is sent up through pipes from the jetty. These pipes are heated internally by steam because the oil they use in the ships is very thick stuff, or was, and it would not move unless it was warmed. The ships used this it was furnace oil, and it wasn't used after 1982, after Falklands conflict, when the ships were mainly running on diesel oil after that. This is tunnel number 1. This leads to the winch rooms, which operate large pipes inside the tanks for taking the oil in and out. We're in tunnel number 1, leading down to the winch rooms. These items here, where electrical trace heating for the pipes is terminated. These were added in the 60s because of difficulty getting the oil to move up the pipes in cold weather, even though they had heating inside. Here we have what was originally blast walls, which when they were installed originally were to stop any explosives igniting anything down the tunnel. The first blast wall came to here. You'd have to walk around it like this. The second one came to here. You have to walk around it like this, and so on for the next 2. These were removed for ease of access for when they were cleaning out the tanks. This is a winch room for tank number 1. There are another 5 stretching down there. They're all identical. This is the winch, which would have a large cable going right over the top of there, which is 45 feet high. You can just make out the cable hanging down there. This would lift up the pipe which takes the oil out and also lets the oil in. This is the scale for getting the level of the oil. It has a pointer which would go inside there, That also has a cable going through to a float on top of the oil. That would go up and down with the level of the oil, and you could read off the amount of oil you had in the tanks. This is a pipe where the oil goes into the tank and also is extracted from the tank. Here we have connections for steam, which will be going along the bottom of the tank to make the oil warm so you could actually move it. Once it is cold, it's very difficult to move.
So you can go up that ladder and get into the tank.
You could do, yes, if you are so inclined. We won't be doing that.
No one's been so inclined.
Possibly. There is a ladder going down the inside of the tank, but it has no protection like this one has. So it would be a little bit dangerous.
How did you find out about the tanks?
Just happened to be walking past one day with my wife. We came across steel doors. We didn't know what they were, and it took me 20 years before I actually discovered what they were for. Another 5 years to get access to them. Since then, the owners of the tunnels, Bannerman Group from Tain, have very kindly let me have a key for the door. So now we can go in whenever we need to do any photography or just making noises for recording purposes. The undertaking must have been tremendous. 500,000 tons of spoil were taken from the tanks by pick and shovel and explosives. No tunnel boring machines in those days, a lot of manual labour involved, no health and safety as such, so people later life did actually suffer from chest problems with the dust. Originally the oil was stored in big above ground tanks, which can be seen to the right just, and they were some of them put there in First World War, and they were vulnerable to air attack in the Second World War, so they decided to build an underground storage tank. One tank was actually bombed, above ground tank, during the war by a German plane, and the oil was lost. It all went down into the town of Invergordon. So the underground tanks will be deemed to be bomb-proof. We'll now be entering tunnel number 2, which leads to the access end of all the tanks. We're now standing at the entrance to tunnel number 2. We are here. We'll be walking along this tunnel to access tank 1 here. This is about 300 meters in length, a lot further than this one, because the tanks, as you can see, are not parallel with the track. So we'll be walking on here, then we're going to tank 1 here. Okay? Now reaching the end of the line tunnel. This is natural rock, obviously deemed strong enough to support itself. Since we were built, we've had some rock falls which have been held up with these lovely timbers here. Here we have the way into tank 1. They're all identical, 1 right through to 6 have all got flanking plates which have been removed. And this is how we get in. We now have a trolley system which makes access a lot quicker than the old way, which didn't have any chutes on either end. So we had to manhandle our way in, which took quite a while. This is a very rapid entry system, as you will see. Lucy is about to enter tank 1 now. Okay. The quick way. We're now standing in tank number 1. If you look at the ceiling, you can see where the oil went to when it was full. This tank would hold 5.6 million gallons of oil. same as the other 4, the same size as this. In 2014, Professor Trevor Cox recorded a starting pistol in here, and the echo was for 112 seconds. This is now a world record. We can walk down to the other end of the tank, 237 meters away, and look at the sump and where the oil actually entered the tanks when they were in service. These are the heating elements. They've been placed against the wall to allow the walls to be cleaned. The pipes had steam running through them to warm the oil. The tank lining is 450 millimeters thick concrete. This is porous to a certain extent, so when the oil was cleaned out of the tanks, it's now starting to come back out again in various places. That is why we have a certain amount of oil on the surface of the water here. Here we have a fine example of straw stalactites. Originally when we came in with poor lights, we never spotted them. However, a lady came in and saw them. So her name was Jackie. Now we now call these Jackie's tights. This is a sump area. The oil would enter this pipe here. This is a big swivel joint. The pipe is then raised up to the level of the oil. For being warm, it is thinnest and easier to move when you're taking it out. It also fills through this pipe. The level of the oil, as shown on the indicator in the winch room, is determined by the level of this float, which sits on top of the oil. This is a ladder with no protection at all on it. Under the level is a pipe leading outwards, so the water, which is heavier than the oil, would actually form in this sump and could be drained off. We can now demonstrate the echo with a clap. I will now fire a starting pistol and make a louder bang.
I've got to like lug all this equipment up on my Todd, set up somewhere to sort of camp essentially, and then set up, the easel, tarpaulins, generator, 4 paddling pools. So to access where we're gonna sleep and where we're gonna dev the negative and where we're gonna process the print, that's about 300 meters down this really smooth concrete tunnel, which is great because we're going to use skateboards to transport all the gear. So I'm going to have a good time next week skateboarding down this massive long tunnel with massive amount of water and chems and all the rest of it. So that will all be just amazing for when Dave comes over.
We're not getting out?
We're not getting out.
I don't think we're getting out. All right.
So literally our only way out, okay, if say for example something does happen, like somebody comes up here and parks their vehicle here or something like stupid, then the other way out, yeah?
Is through the tank.
You have to go into the tank.
Out through the access.
You have to go into the tank all the way to the bottom.
All the way to the end, up the 2-story ladder, or whatever.
Yeah.
up the 2-story ladder, and then down the other ladder into the pump room to
Yeah.
get into the other tunnel.
Yeah.
You have keys for the other tunnel?
No. We have keys to get in, but obviously the padlock's on the...
On the outside.
So-
So if we have to escape, we're still stuck in the tunnel, and there's
We're
no
still-
way to get out.
Exactly.
Fuck.
So we're as opposed to being in tunnel 2, we're in tunnel 1.
Okay, so we can just escape to the other tunnel, but
Yeah.
if we get blocked here,
We're done.
we should have gone and locked the other tunnel from the inside first.
You should have done that.
Yeah, that would have been
But then
smart.
if we do that and we have an issue, nobody can get in at all.
Is there a second set of keys?
All right, sweetheart. Why haven't you hit me back yet? Messaging Dave. Stay away because of the jams. What are you playing at?
Dude, you're crazy. 2 guys. One tank. Yeah, a couple things off the top of my head. One, let's not do a paper negative. That'd be just way too hard. And also, if we could get an enlarger, a paper negative doesn't make sense. So a traditional negative makes more sense. But yeah, making a darkroom in there is actually really it's really cool. It's probably, I think we could probably say that would be the world's largest darkroom. Maybe we do that. Let's focus on building the world's largest darkroom. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, and maybe let's only shoot one negative like last time, just to make it harder on ourselves, I guess. Because I've been thinking about that. It'd be fun to try that again, where we just only take one shot. But yeah, world's largest darkroom. I guess just shut up about paper negs. I know you love paper negatives, but that doesn't make any sense. Let's do normal negatives. World's largest darkroom. If you can get an Intrepid enlarger, which I don't think they're not even out yet. So maybe we should think about making something that's similar to that. Anyway, I'm up now. Hit me back when you get up. I'm assuming since you're up all night, you'll be sleeping all day. But I'll talk to you. What? Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
Oh, do you know what? F this suit. I don't want to fucking wear it anyway.
You're not gonna wear it?
No, can't be arsed with them. They're too fucking... They're a pain in the ass.
Okay, let's not do it.
Let's not do it.
Screw the suits.
Yeah.
We're not wearing the suits.
I can't deal with the suits. I guess at this point,
It is. See you on the other side.
duck down. Shoulders, duck down. Even more, even more, even more. Contact. Hey! How are you?
I'm great. Quite a while back, I sat down on the pot and looked at my phone and saw I missed a few 3 or 4 messages from Simon. We were talking about it would be cool to actually try to produce a feature-length documentary. The whole idea is we go in, we do one shot, we develop it in the access tunnels, and we actually create a darkroom in the access tunnels, and we print as big as we possibly can on location.
Sounds like fun so far.
Yeah.
Go somewhere pitch black, take a photograph of something pitch black, print it in the pitch black, sleep overnight in the pitch black.
Yeah. But they'll be Armagnac, so that's my contribution. Simon's doing all of the groundwork, and I'm bringing the Armagnac. Gotcha.
It's like being a torpedo, man.
Your wire ties and push this through. Alright.
Okay.
Right. Well, I can hang one, like I hung one off the tripod. We need to.
Just be careful of this. The battery's coming out. How many things do we have plugged into?
The guy who was supposed to do our filming got sick at the last minute, couldn't come. So now we're in here trying to set up this shot and film everything. Just the two of us, which is taking longer than expected. And like we said, the plan is to not come out of these tanks and tunnels until we get our print. So we might be in here for a while. Simon had to go and get some more supplies back by the entrance. So now I'm just in this giant tank, all alone. So Simon came back with beer and chips. Beer and chips. Beer and chips. Okay. Well, so the plan is we're gonna illuminate some of the tank right near us to try to check our framing on the shot. So Simon went all the way down to the end. I used his flashlight to check our focus, and now we're gonna try to work on framing a bit. And then once that's done, I walk the whole length of the flash and flash in increments to illuminate the whole tank, and we just leave the lens open.
Mm-hmm.
You basically leave the shutter.
Listen, I'm gonna try and just keep the lights on one of these stanchions then, if that's the right word. It's probably not. Anyway, listen, so I'm currently shining it on one of the heating elements over on your left-hand side.
Yeah, I can see. Just don't move it too much because I'm actually sort of focusing right on the light itself.
Do you think it'll even help if I breathe into the light? It'll give you more surface area of light?
No, just stay there. I think we can do this.
Hyperventilating now.
We forgot a curtain pole.
Oh man, did you bring a kettle?
We don't have a kettle.
Damn it. Okay, so I would imagine, I think, well, I can see the end. I would approximate 80 meters from the sun just now.
Yeah, I can just see you. Okay.
There. Okay, I'm shining from my welly boot height.
No, it's perfect. It's pretty dead center. I like it. I think we're good.
Let me get a sip.
Yeah, have some. Are we recording?
I don't know. So
yeah, we've checked the focus, the composition.
We've walked all the way down to the bottom of the tank, which comprises of a sump, which is rather dangerous. There's no way that I can put anything as a physical barrier.
Yeah, I'll come and meet you.
Okay, babes, I'll wait here. I'll go for a little swim.
Wait for me.
Okay, darling, I'm waiting.
Okay.
Fucking freezing, mate.
Oh, I keep forgetting that you have
Diabetes?
diabetes. Yeah. That used to be up there.
Well, that's sorted then, isn't it?
So we found some old rope down there, and I just laid it in the center of the path. So the idea is hopefully my feet feel the rope, and that's how I know I'm at the end of the line. It's open. Okay. It's on F over 22. You're gonna put the back in. Put the film in. Don't pull the slide out, obviously.
Let me just check. I'm happy.
You happy? Okay. Do you know, is it number 1 that you put on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're sure of that?
Yeah, let's double check. Yep, it's number 1.
Okay, cool.
All fully engaged.
Sweet. So I guess we're
on bulb, but that
it doesn't matter because we're just gonna leave.
Yeah.
So when the time comes, you just pull out the front slide.
Yeah. So we're cutting lights. You're getting in position first. We're cutting lights.
Yeah, you can keep your headlamp on. You just have to turn it off right when you open it.
Yeah.
Does that seem okay?
Seems cool to me.
Okay.
Don't fall in. Okay.
And then when I say I'm done, you can close the lens or put in the slide. It might be easier to feel around and close the lens.
Yeah. So the lens is open.
Yeah.
I'm feeling around. You've locked everything off.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Don't touch it.
Yeah, we're all good.
It's not moving, so.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
You good?
I think so.
You
Are you good? Yeah?
I'm good.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Turning my light off. Dark slide is out. Woof. Okay, just watch yourself at the end.
You distracted me, and now I don't remember if I flashed in this position.
Yeah, you did flash in that position.
I did or didn't?
You did.
The test light isn't coming back on.
Are you having battery issues?
I think so.
You haven't finished the shot though, have you?
Definitely not. The red light on the battery pack is blinking.
Yeah, I just don't know. I think just wait.
It's working.
And now it's time to develop the negative
Yeah.
that hopefully I loaded properly, if I loaded it at all.
I hope you loaded that freaking sheet properly.
I love the way you're getting everything like full of dust and dirt and drain and mank and
Yeah, it's manky.
just embracing the whole
Yeah. Minging. This is. You okay, son?
I'm so tired. No, stop.
Stop. So did we just not bring stop? So we need to develop our negative. Developing has 3 steps. The developer, the stopper, which makes the developer stop working because you don't want to overdevelop it, and then the fixer, which just washes away all the photosensitive materials. Okay, cool. We don't know where the stopper is that we brought with us. So we don't know how we're going to actually... You can stop your negative with just water, like rinsing a lot of water through it. It's just not ideal. And so, yeah. There is one thing. P can work as a stop because it's acidic.
I don't need to be.
Oh man.
Well, we can't, we can't do anything else, so we're going to make the print work, we're going to make the neck work, but we're going to do it. Like we said, danger boys.
Danger boys.
And do you know another thing? It will just prove the point, right? You know, that, you know...
It's a piece of piss. Photography is literally a piece of piss.
Caption, piece of piss. It's the Mark 4, so it just like needs...
Will 500 make it to the top? Yeah.
To make a litre, I put 200, or 250, do the math.
What's a liter divided by 5?
200.
100 divided by 5. Yeah.
200 now?
Yeah, 520s make 100.
Yeah.
So 200 of that, and then 4 200s of water. I don't know. I'm not good at math. Here's one. Are we gonna party now in tank 6? Or you gonna sit there?
Definitely party. Definitely party.
Definitely party at tank 6. But
Yeah.
Yeah, should I just go and pee in this thing?
Do it. Oh man, that smells so bad. Whoa. Why did you put that right next to me?
Why'd you forget the stopper?
Crying out loud. Right next to me.
Oh, yeah, where's the fixer? Simon, where'd you put the chemicals?
Sing song.
No, I need fixer. Okay, I need, we need a mix, fixer. Developer develops it. That's what we're doing right now. No, developer takes the part of the film that got touched by a lot of light.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
and it makes the image appear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Yeah, I don't know. Then you have to stop it. You have to stop the developer from working. And since the developer is a base, you do that with an acid. You stop it with an acid. And then you need a fixer, because what happens is, even though you develop the image, technically the photosensitive silver is still in the film.
Yeah.
And so you just basically need to wash it away. And that's what fixer does. So it doesn't actually fix the image.
I think that's worth mentioning, is because a lot of people will think and assume that fixer actually is like maybe a glue, a fixative, or something like that.
It has
and
nothing to do
actually,
with fixing.
it just rinses away all the excess silver, and you know.
So there you go. And then you have a photographic negative, and that's it.
Yeah.
3 steps.
3 steps.
You don't want any chemicals left in your negative, do you? Not at all. Is your water hard or soft normally?
It's fluid.
No.
It's a liquid.
Yeah, but like, are there electrolytes in it?
Like, how do you explain that, sir? No, it's very soft.
Okay,
Very
cool.
soft, darling. Because I might have loaded it like back to front.
No, you loaded it correctly, I felt.
So, if we didn't get anything, it's either the stop or it's your fault. Oh my god. Yes!
Okay, let's hang this bad boy up. Our one shot. Yeah. We didn't get a print yet.
No. So we're gonna go to bed because it's midnight.
We're gonna go to bed.
We're gonna inflate the bed. We're gonna put tarpaulin down. We're gonna get into bed.
And then tomorrow we're gonna continue until we get a print.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a crazy day. Having no cameraman.
No
camera operator.
We did for like a hot hour. We had.
Yes.
Simon, how do you feel about the bedroom?
I feel ecstatic about the bedroom. I mean, look at the view.
Do you think we can get the beds next to each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
So that we can like whisper like secrets to one another?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm into that.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're gonna celebrate. Whoa. I hope your mic picked up all that glugging. I really hope it. I hope the mic just...
It's been a long day.
It has been a very long day. I was hoping to bust out this Armagnac after a print, but We got a negative.
Yeah. My whole body is done. It's like in pain.
No. We had to be photographers, adventurers, camera crew. Can you see this? What do we say? Tank to make one shot.
Tank to make one shot. Got done. Damn! What?
Simon forgot to bring utensils, so we don't know how we're gonna eat the beans. He just suggested that we drink our Armagnac and use the cups to scoop out beans and somehow like slurp them down our gullets or something.
It's not a suggestion. It's happening. Right? That's how we eat the beans. Dude, you should film the spiders. They're fucking huge! Oh man. That's a mama. Look at it. Mate, seriously, I'm not taking the piss, but I don't know if I want to sleep this close to these things. Oh man, really?
That's hot, dude.
Took it. They're being silly, but yeah.
But you might just lose it down there.
Well, I locked out of 8 hours, haven't I? I'm trying to deal with priorities, isn't it? So I need to do immersion and then charge batteries, isn't it?
Isn't it?
So is.
So that's what we ended up doing, was getting a fish tank heater that we can throw in our 100-liter tank, and you can hear the generator working.
It's half the load of the generator right now, 300 watts.
And I
I
don't
wonder
know.
where they could be.
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, should be any debris on the floor.
Oh, this is the drain plug.
How are you feeling about the whole thing?
Feeling okay. It's just taking a lot longer than we were expecting. So,
Yeah.
so making sure that we think of everything and we forgot utensils and oh gosh, just not what we were expecting.
Not what we're expecting.
And then trying to manage filming with actually doing the project that we set out to do. It's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. We're at, okay, we just made it to 11. 12. Come on, give me a 13. Give me a 13.
That would be nice.
13.
Whee!
Getting there, we want at least 15.
Huh?
15 is like...
Yeah. I think that's going to help us, though. Remember?
I think 15 would be good for the developer, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because the problem with how we're doing the big paper is it's uneven how the developer gets over the paper.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's so big you can't get it in all at once. And you can get streaking. Yeah, bring duct tape, please.
Okay. As much as we can.
And then oh man,
it's happening.
We have all the pool set up. This is our photo lab.
Two guys, one tank.
Two guys, one listen, tape, remind me of this tomorrow. Okay, two guys, one tank, documentary. Two guys go in, one photo comes out.
Easel.
Easel.
Easy.
Easel peasel.
Easel.
Easel peasel. You're gonna...
So that's just my
It's slightly different. Cut the lights. Over. End of show.
So the idea here is simply to attach a screw here, cable tie between the two, and then we can either go forwards or backwards, or we'll weight the bottom of the timber accordingly, and then we have our secured easel that can be dismantled in a second.
So the Intrepid Enlarger, the whole idea is you use a large format camera like this one, which happens to also be made by Intrepid, and you use that camera to actually be your enlarger by shining light backwards through the negative, and it comes out the lens just like a projector.
Dude.
Thanks to a guy named John. Thanks, John, by the way. On Twitter, he actually suggested doing this because it's a lot easier to gauge focus on those lines rather than trying to use the actual negative we're going to print. So we can actually do initial focus and get those lines as sharp as possible because we know we're not going to move the projector or the camera from that place. And then just fine tune the focus once we have the actual negative in. And then we can use those parallel lines to measure the distance apart to actually see if there's keystoning going on. Is it the moment?
It is. It is. It very is. We've got 15.
Okay. Do you have your push? Because there's like a lot of dust on this.
Yeah.
Rub. Can you take these? Thank you.
Well, just for record, I've never seen this before.
Wait, is that this? Doing everything if we just got a little bit of the oil residue in at some point?
See how.
I don't know. Don't go down too hard. I don't want you to puncture it. I think I may have just nodded on it though.
Oh no. It's gonna be so hairy.
I've never seen such a hairy negative.
There are big hairs on that, man. Big hairs.
3, 2, please be in focus. Please be in focus.
In focus.
Oh man. Please tell me that we nailed focus on the shot.
It's fantastic. Like, all the way. We have detail.
Kill it. Let's try not to touch anything.
I'll
Like
tell you
if
what,
we bump this
I'm
camera,
gonna disconnect this cable.
that's great. That's a smart idea.
Oh, thanks, man. I mean, you think you're being clean, and
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, no wonder the negative's like that. Like, the type of paper we're using needs to be washed really well. It's fiber paper, which means it's fancier. But the problem is the photosensitive silver gelatin is actually in the like fibers of the paper. So it doesn't simply sit on top of the paper, which means when you put it in all these chemicals, the chemicals get really deep in and absorbed into the actual fibers of the paper. And so you need to wash it really well, or the chemicals can ruin your print, days or even years later. So normally, to do that with fiber paper, you just have a crap ton of water. But we don't have the liberty of a bunch of water. So we're using a thing called HypoClear. And basically, it helps clean the paper without us having to have hundreds of liters of water. Okay, so we're looking
Oh, dude, we're good. We're like at 20. Yeah, leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. This is fun because there may be people watching this who have printed this large before, and I'm sure there will be. Here? We can leave this latch in here for the time. Go. Go.
Struggling.
One more.
This is 60 then. Jenny dipped out 100% there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a minute.
Alright. How long was that entire thing? About a minute?
Yes,
Can you pull that out? Can you find where the starts? Oh. Cool. I think we're good.
Timer set. 6 times 10, 60 seconds. Actually, take these magnets off a little.
Yeah, please. Take them off completely.
Yeah.
Because that way we get a bigger image and we can just cut it later. Get the bottom right corner. Don't get the top last.
Yeah, oh, I thought you'd done that.
Okay. Should make the camera. Ooh.
You got it?
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
All right. Oh man. I gotta get it evenly in. Oh man. Yeah. It stopped curling as much. Oh man. It's just too big for this pool.
You can do. I got hands on.
Yeah, it's got a major crease right there.
Yeah, that was me. Paddling pools are, a bit more inflated. That is fucking cool, babe.
Let it all drip off him. Yeah, look at those creases. Those are from the original. Those are when you jumped in. Got it?
I'm gonna flip it. Let me have it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't hit the chair. Oh, it's hitting the chair.
Can you have that? You got that?
Yep, I got this side. Oh man, we're putting dirt. Oh, it's layers. Right on. Boom. It's fine. Yeah, the learning curve's insane.
So for tomorrow, I mean, the exposure I think is fine. Maybe just a little bit too much.
Yeah, but like
just a little bit.
Yeah.
So if we went just maybe 50 seconds
yeah.
and more time in the dev.
And way more time in the dev.
Yeah.
I think
to avoid these streaks.
Yeah, because if we go 50 seconds, I think you get more of the
yeah.
ceiling. Yeah.
got a print, but we were completely tired, and by the time we got the first print, it was 9 p.m. And now the plan is to go back into the tanks and try again for a better print. So I don't know why we thought we'd do this. Probably wasn't a good idea.
There you go, dude.
Thank you, sir. Oh man, coffee. I need coffee.
Coffee.
All the sauces.
All the sauces.
Is it that brown stuff?
Yeah. Oh, a growing boy needs.
Everything a growing boy needs. Dude, if you pop brown sauce in my face, I will kill you. I am done having brown oil, brown stuff all over me. If you get brown sauce.
Dave's a little bit shirty today because he hasn't had any food.
No, I haven't eaten anything.
You're getting all that hangry.
I'm getting super hangry.
I mean,
hangry for days.
Here's the diabetes.
He's got diabetes. I've got the hanger.
Terrace this side, yeah?
That's great. Thank you very much.
I'll just go grab your toast if you
great. Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
This is just for me.
So, yeah, 1 year ago, I show up. We had never met. We met on Twitter, right? It was the love at first tweet or whatever.
Yeah.
So I decided to plan this trip, come out. And we just do all these insane things. And Simon goes, oh, there's these tanks I want to get into. Maybe we can find a way to rappel in or something if I can't get a hold of the key holder. But he did some sleuthing and got the name of Preston.
Yeah.
Had Preston's number somehow. We got his key holder. And he finally got back to you, when I had 2 days left here last year?
Yeah.
And said, hey, can you guys come in tomorrow? And we were like, yes. So we brought in some money. We're like, okay, to thank him because they're not open to public. We brought in a little cash, and we're like, okay, we'll just flip him like 100 quid.
Yeah.
And we're chatting with him, and he's what, 75 or something?
Yeah, 74. Yeah.
74.
Yeah.
And we're talking about how we got over to the second searchlight using a drone as a grappling hook, setting up just super shady, right? We talk about this, how we got over there, and he knows all of the World War II installments, all the war installments around here, right? Because that's sort of his thing.
Yeah.
And so he knows exactly what we're talking. He goes, you got to the second searchlight? Don't pay me anything, guys. Get me over to that other one, boys.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait, no. And I was leaving the next day, so that meant Simon was going to have to do it alone. And Simon just looked at me, he's like, no, I'm not doing it, Dave. He's like turning away from Preston. He's like, I can't do it. He's going to die. He's going to die in there. It's going to be my fault. Preston's blood will be on my hands.
It was bloody stressful.
You were.
I had to go.
You were getting proper stressed. Oh, dude. Simon was just like, he's like, I was like, Simon, just do it. Just do it. We saved 100 pounds. Just take them over.
I was just like, take the money, Preston. Have some money. Do you want some more money, Preston?
But then, so Preston ends up going over again. He's been over there twice now.
Yeah, like literally last week he's like, yeah, I've got this other photographer mate, and he kind of wants to go down to the searchlight, but he's not really too sure about the, going across on the sketchy rope thing. So he's going to bring a ladder, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I think our chems are dying because we left them out in the open overnight.
Speaking of which, we should prep some dev.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay.
So we're gonna get the paper soaked to try to eliminate streaking, and then we're gonna add some extra fresh dev in. Yeah, just over there. And I guess we're gonna try to unroll this into the. I don't know if you want to. And let's do the U thing a little, just to get it initially soaked. Maybe.
We're just gonna go middle first, straight in.
Middle first, and then push down our corners.
Right, ready?
Let's go. Let's see what we got this time, everyone. Where did I put the fresh can?
I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Must be also.
Yeah, I think so. We can put it in if we're getting the same thing. Just on the street. Oh, that's just, yeah, that's some streaks, but. Oh, it's coming out much more evenly, dude.
Yeah. So normally, when your image comes out pretty much all at the same time, you're golden.
That's what you want.
Well, this is it.
Can you lift up the light a little more so we can see if we can find it? Okay. I'm gonna try to put a little.
Do you want to wait? There is any streak? I mean, I'm not seeing any.
Yeah, but I'm worried that that's part of why the corners are just. Oh, you know what? I think we're getting some vignetting, maybe. Maybe that's why it's not as dark on the sides. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. It's coming out really good though.
This one's coming out much better.
This is so good.
Okay, we're gonna lay it into each chem 4 hands like we just did, okay?
Okay.
So I'll pick it out like I do, then you'll come over, get your 2 corners, we'll lay it in, gentle.
So maybe
let's let it drip off all the chems. You can be super gentle with it.
well, that's actually dropped.
Good. Tension.
Don't drop this print slightly. Flex, you know?
Get me. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Good. Good tension.
Makes sense.
Okay, get the other side. Okay, put a little tension so it doesn't sag too much in the middle.
Yeah.
Don't want it to sag too much. Okay. Can we lay it down? Okay, we okay. There we go. Let me just put some of that liquid over top.
Do you know, it's mental because it's like you look at it, it's so big, you feel like you're actually in the bloody image. It's massive.
Oh, it's awesome. It's probably the only way to print this image.
Yeah, it's mad.
You couldn't shoot it on anything other than large format either.
No.
We're just going to be so careful getting this home. I don't even know how we're going to get it back.
Hey, Colin. Hey man, how's it going? Okay, cool. Listen, we're not really too sure about how to get the actual print down. So, you know, it's kind of, there's 2 problems really. A, we can't get it sort of dry up in the tunnel because it's just the ambient temperature's not good enough. And B, we don't want to walk all the way down the track with it. So maybe you could meet us at the tank. Meet us at the tunnel, and we could load the print in. Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, we're really happy with it. It's been such a long, project really. So, drying them, yeah. I mean, yeah, that would be great. I mean, wicked. So we could just take them down to your place and then hang them up somewhere. They're pretty big though. Yeah, okay, we'll sort it. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, wicked. All right, okay, well, we just need to sort of open up and then we can be ready, maybe 10, 15?
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's cool. All right then. Okay, thanks, mate. Perfect. All right, see you then. Cheers, mate. Bye. Bye. Bye.
So this is what a sheet of film looks like before it's developed. You got your anti-halation layer.
Where did you get them from?
They were already in the Mod 5.4. I don't know why. Did you load this up? Were these shot on?
Yeah.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, really. Like they were the Fuji ones. No, they were the Acros ones.
You shot. Why were they in the tank? Just
because I was gonna dev them.
Oh. You asked me to get the Mod 5.4, so I pulled it out. I didn't know you would put stuff to dev in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's alright. So, what did we shoot on that? This was last year when you came over. So it's not Acros, it's FOMO.
This is FOMO 100.
100 at 200.
You didn't even tell me you were in dev these. You didn't even tell me you loaded these.
Yeah.
No, you did not. You didn't tell me you loaded them up. Anyway.
You were here when I was loading them. Remember?
I wasn't, no.
Uh-huh.
No, I wasn't.
Uh-huh. I was in Granny's Punch, remember? And we were talking about FOMO.
Anyway,
I said to get the Mod 5.4, so you've got it.
Yeah, you did tell me that. So without looking in a bag, you're trying to get the negative into this thing. But sometimes you... I don't know if they can even see. So sometimes you miss a line, or sometimes if you move the tank too vigorously, it can come out. And if this sticks to the outside of the tank, then this sort of layer, this green layer, won't come off.
Yeah.
And you have all kinds of issues in development. So of course I'm super nervous because we only did one shot, and we didn't have time or energy to do more.
You know, you're thinking so hard on so many different levels, so many things to consider, plus our own welfare. You know, we hadn't eaten very much, you know, blood sugars, just tiredness, you know.
He's got, Simon has type 1 diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yeah, you got the diabetes.
I got it.
He's got the diabetes.
Well, we got a power cut. On top of that, Dave is just like a prima donna. Like, so when his for major high maintenance, when his blood sugar goes low, it's it's hangry all the way, isn't it?
I get pretty hangry. That's true. I do get pretty hangry.
Yeah.
Just I got all that muscle that needs filled with sugar.
Yeah.
Don't you roll your eyes at me. So just nothing one is expected. Nothing one is expected. But so we only took one shot, right? I mean, that was sort of the idea. We only took one negative. But doing a print, we had never tried doing a print this large before, either of us.
No.
In a good environment, we had never tried. And
the biggest is that Tetanus stuff.
Yeah, 50 by 60 centimeters. And I'm surprised it's not worse. I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Not nearly as many hairs as I thought.
Well, that'd be your hairs.
Yeah, my hairs get everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna cut it before this, and you're like, Dave, I love your locks. Keep them.
Yeah.
You did.
I did.
You ordered me not to cut my hair.
Told you.
So you want an olive before we sort of...
Yeah.
I don't know, like, are there any takeaways? Like,
takeaways?
Yeah, like what's a major...
There's a chippy in town.
No.
Curry? There's a curry house.
Like, conclusions from this experience.
Oh. Not talking fast.
Not like
picture.
takeout, no.
Oh.
Whenever you're in a World War II tunnel printing a giant photo,
Uh-huh.
just, go with your gut. I
Go
think
with your
that's the lesson in all this.
Because everybody's going to go down there now and do this.
Yeah, everyone's, no.
But we nailed it. Look at it.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. So would you say that one shot Inchindown is a success?
One shot Inchindown, raging success. Raging success.
So, raging success.
We're done. Scotland raging.
Scotland raging success.
Yeah.
So, where we go next?
Hawaii.
I think Hawaii. Let's
I'm
go to
going
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Let's do one shot Hawaii.
One shot Hawaii in the lava tunnels.
You want to do a darkroom in lava tunnels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
I think that's.
It'd be warmer.
You
can
Heck of a lot warmer.
Print, you know?
Okay. Darkroom in lava tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
I think.
Shani is a bitch.
Is this? Let me check the GPS. Is this tank 6 over here?
Yeah.
Is this tank 6?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go to tank 6.
Let's go to tank 6.